Ready to jump into something kind of different. We're taking a look at a live show today, The Will and Taylor Show, and they're all about AI and digital products.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of energy. It's like a business conference, but way more fun, like hanging out with friends.
Yeah, they've got these fun little things they do like music trivia,
Yep.
and the prizes are photo dumps from the hosts.
I love
A
that.
bunch of random pictures, which is hilarious, and this like running gag with Baby Bear,
Oh, yeah.
the demanding little stuffed animal who like keeps threatening to sue them.
Hilarious, right? With his lawyer, who's also a stuffed animal. What I love, though, is that it really sets a tone for the whole show.
Right, it feels like.
Super welcoming, and it encourages like everyone to participate.
Exactly. So that community feel is a big part of what makes it special. But let's get into the actual content here.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of presenters. They all have these different approaches to building businesses and products around AI.
It's cool seeing them all come together, and the emphasis is really on like individual expression and finding your own little niche.
Absolutely. So first up is Sonia Hightower,
Uh-huh.
and she's tackling this problem I think a lot of people are dealing with right now, which is just all of the just garbage AI training programs.
Oh, so many, right? Like they promise you the world, but then they fall short when it comes to like actually giving you valuable, actionable knowledge.
Totally. And that's where Sonia's Trainer's Edge Academy comes in.
Makes sense.
She is all about transparency and giving you those concrete strategies you can use.
And it seems like a really supportive environment too.
Oh, yeah. Huge emphasis on community. She even uses this analogy about knowledge being like an overflowing cup. You
Yeah.
constantly have to like pour out and refill to keep it fresh.
I love that. That's a good one because it highlights the importance of continuously learning and sharing what, not just holding on to it all for yourself.
Right. And it fits really well with what she's trying to do with this program.
It
She's got a free info session coming up on January 4th, and then the official launch is January 25th.
a smart move to give people a little taste of what to expect.
Definitely. Okay, so switching gears a bit, we have Maxine Guidry. She's a math teacher and super creative, and she designed this stunning calendar called Golden Warriors.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous artwork of these powerful women warriors.
And she used a GPT prompt to create all the art. For those who don't know, GPTs are these advanced language models that you can use to generate all sorts of things. But in this case, she prompted it with fantasy warrior oil painting. And I mean, wow, the results are really impressive.
They are. So she's got different sizes, different finishes, matte or glossy, all the choices you want.
Yeah.
And she's thinking about expanding to mugs, tote bags, maybe even serving trays.
Smart. Diversifying is always a good idea. Plus, it gives people more options.
Totally. And during the show, she does this brainstorming session with the audience. They're throwing out ideas for more products, like puzzles, coloring books. I mean, anything you can think of.
That's awesome. It really shows how collaborative this show is.
Everyone's supporting each other and just throwing ideas out there. Okay, moving on to Adrian Scott.
Okay.
He has a really strong message about authenticity, especially when it comes to AI. He really believes in finding your unique voice and purpose instead of just chasing trends or whatever everyone else is doing.
And he has this cool analogy. He says GPTs are like different chocolate bars.
I don't like that.
They might all look similar on the outside, but it's what's inside, the content, the strategy, that makes each one unique.
Right. It's not about being like everyone else. It's about being genuine and tapping into what you're passionate about.
He even mentions the Japanese concept of ikigai, which is all about finding your purpose, your reason for being.
Right. And he's really built his whole approach around that. And speaking of which, he's got this class, 332525, Level Up My Life.
That's a catchy name.
It is. It's 3 GPTs, 3 workbooks, all for $25, designed to help people figure out what they want to do and build their brand.
That's a great value.
It is, and it shows he's really committed to making this information accessible. But before we get to Taylor, let's talk about the music trivia for a second.
Okay.
They sprinkle these questions throughout the show.
It's fun.
Super interactive. Some of them are actually pretty tough.
Yeah.
Like, one was, my son said, "Daddy, I don't want to go to school."
You got to know your music for that one.
You do, and Will gives a shout out to one listener, Rosalind, who apparently gets them all right every time.
Wow.
Dedicated fan. Okay, so now Taylor.
Right?
She has this interesting model. It's a monthly subscription for GPTs.
Oh, cool.
It gives subscribers access to both her listed and unlisted creations.
I like that. It makes it feel more exclusive.
Right, and it gives them a lot of value.
Definitely.
And her GPTs are all over the place. Like there's used furniture, suspended art creator. There's even one called Crafting Business Companion that helps with everything from business foundations to writing grants.
That's really practical.
It speaks to her audience for sure. She also does image bundles and Canva templates, those pre-designed layouts you can use for social media.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she sells those on Creative Fabrica.
So she's got her hands in a lot of different things.
She does, just like all these presenters, exploring all these different ways to share their skills and connect with people. It's really a testament to all the entrepreneurial energy in the AI space right now.
Definitely lots of creativity out there.
Okay, so let's dive back into the Will and Taylor show and see what else we can learn from these inspiring creators.
Sounds good to me. One thing that really stands out is how they've managed to create this balance between promoting their own products and really genuinely fostering a supportive community.
Yeah, they don't make it all about themselves. They want everyone to succeed.
Yeah, you can tell they're really invested in helping other creators.
And they have moderators, too, who help manage the chat and make sure everyone's questions are getting answered.
Oh, that's good. Keeps things organized.
Yeah, and one of them, Lydia, she gets a lot of love in the chat. Everyone loves Lydia.
Good for her.
And then there's the Wheel of Names. It's how they give away prizes throughout the show.
Oh, yeah. How does that work?
So viewers can sign up throughout the show, and then they spin this virtual wheel to pick winners randomly.
That's fun. Keeps people engaged.
And the prizes often include GPTs from Will and Taylor and other digital products from the presenters.
Oh, cool. So everyone benefits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So remember how Adrian was talking about the importance of authenticity and not just chasing trends?
Yeah, it's a good reminder.
Well, he actually shares a story about a time when he felt that pressure himself.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
He talks about this period where he was constantly watching what others were doing, felt like he had to keep up with everything.
Oh, I've been there.
And it just wasn't working.
It's so easy to get caught in that trap.
It is, but then he realized that his best work came when he was focused on his own style and passions.
I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, and he actually has some advice for anyone trying to find their own path.
What's that?
He says experiment, ask yourself what-if questions,
Oh, I like that.
and use AI tools like ChatGPT to just see what's possible.
Makes sense.
But he emphasizes that mindset is key, believing in yourself and your ability to create something unique.
Oh, for sure. You got to have that self-belief.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the challenges that come with all of this.
Okay.
Because it's not all perfect. Competition seems to be a big one.
Yeah, definitely. And Adrian actually brings up something kind of sensitive. He talks about creators who might be copying others' work or undercutting prices.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah, and it's not fair to those who are doing things the right way.
Right. But he encourages creators to focus on strategy instead of getting all emotional.
Makes sense. You don't want to let it get to you.
Exactly. So he suggests thinking of it like a game, understanding your competitors, developing smart responses.
Outsmarting them, basically.
Yeah, staying one step ahead, innovating, adding more value.
Good strategy.
And he also talks about the importance of community, building a network of supportive creators.
Yeah, that can make a huge difference.
Because it doesn't have to be cutthroat. There's room for everyone.
Definitely.
It's about collaboration over competition.
And Will and Taylor have done a good job creating that kind of environment with their show.
Yeah, they have. It's really inspiring to see them not just building their own businesses, but supporting others along the way.
It's a testament to the power of community.
So before we move on, let's just highlight some key takeaways from the Will and Taylor show.
Okay.
It's a really dynamic platform for creators.
They showcase their work, share their insights, and connect with a wider audience.
And they do it in a fun and engaging way with tons of personality.
Yeah, it's not just about selling stuff. It's about building something bigger.
Right, empowering others to be creative.
And they make it all accessible.
Okay, so let's move on to the final part of our deep dive and see what else we can learn from the Will and Taylor show. Listening to the Will and Taylor show, it makes you think about how much entrepreneurship has changed.
Yeah, it's not just your typical businesses anymore, right? Right.
There's so many different ways to do things now.
This internet has really opened things up.
Yeah, and AI tools like GPTs are giving people more power, even if they don't have a tech background.
Right, they can create really cool stuff.
It's amazing, but we have to remember, tech is just one part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the human element that really matters.
The passion, the creativity.
The drive to connect with others.
And the Will and Taylor show does a great job of showing that it's not about pushing products, it's about community.
Helping each other out.
Learning from each other.
Building something meaningful.
Together.
And they've built this really cool environment where everyone feels valued.
Yeah, it's really inspiring.
It is.
So what does all this mean for you listening right now?
That's a good question.
What can you take away from this deep dive into AI and community building?
Maybe it's given you an idea for a project.
Or maybe it's inspired you to connect with people who share your interests.
Yeah, find your people. It could even just be a reminder that success isn't just about money.
Sure.
It's about doing something you believe in.
Making a difference.
And even if AI isn't your thing,
Yeah.
the ideas we talked about today apply to pretty much everything.
Find your talents, connect with your community, never stop learning.
The Will and Taylor Show is a great example of what's possible when people come together.
Supporting each other and making cool stuff happen.
So go out there and create something awesome.
Yeah. The world needs your ideas.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you on a live show like the Will and Taylor Show someday.
Sharing your story.
Inspiring others.
Until then, keep exploring.
Keep diving deep.